All right, here we go. Welcome to the 3&1 podcast. I am your host, Keon. Thank you very much for tuning in to watch me. I appreciate y'all. Thank you for watching all the other episodes that I have dropped on YouTube. If you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. Make sure that you also hit a like button, watch those videos, and also make sure you turn on those notifications, hit the bell so that you guys will know every time that I upload. I've also gotten a chance to do some short videos on TikTok. You guys can go and follow me there. You can also see some of my reels, my short videos shown there on Facebook. You guys can follow my podcast page on Facebook as well. Share it with your friends, share it with your family. Uh, Give them the opportunity to tune in and see all the fun as well, man. But today I want to share with you guys before we jump into this that I have finally done it. I finally went ahead and made an Instagram page. So you guys can go ahead and follow me on Instagram. I am going to be dropping my link to Instagram into the comments of this video. I'm also going to be sharing with you guys also that I did create a X page for the podcast, formerly known as Twitter. I did make also a Snapchat. I don't know how long Snapchat's going to stick around because I'm not going to lie, I don't even know how to operate it. I know that's sad. I know some of y'all picking on me right now. Y'all probably might rewind this video just to hear me say that again. But I don't care. I don't know how to operate it. I'm going to try to figure it out though. So we'll see how long it stick around, like I said, and we'll go from there. But anywho, a couple of days ago, I posted on the podcast Facebook page for you guys to send me some questions so that we can do a 3-in-1 Q&A. So here we are. I don't know. It might get spicy. It might get interesting. We will see. I do got a feeling that it's going to be a lot of story time. I love telling stories. I love sharing my experiences in life and so on and forth. So here we go. So the first question I have is, what is your favorite hobby of or pastime? So I was asked this question a couple of days ago and I had a hard time figuring it out, man, to be honest with you. I wear a lot of hats, so hobbies don't really like cross my mind. Um, what I will say is, in my spare time, in my alone time, when I'm just relaxing, I'm probably watching a movie. I'm probably watching TV shows. I like older movies, movies from the 80s, movies from the 70s, the 90s. I will watch just about anything if it's interesting, right? Especially the plot. Like, I'm a person that's like, okay, I like a good plot to a story. I done binge watched some TV shows, stayed up all night before watching a show because it was so good. It's been a while since I did that, but that's just my thing. I'm the type of person that I'll rewatch a movie. I will rewatch a movie that I have seen just to see if there's something that I didn't notice from the last time I watched it. Is that weird? Is that weird? I don't know. Maybe somebody else out there does the same thing. Help me out. Let me know. That way I ain't alone. All right. So the next question is: can you share a childhood memory that has stuck with you? Yes. One comes to mind. There's plenty that I can think of. Good, bad, lessons learned, the hard way and the easy way too. But what one of them come to mind? I got plenty of them. I was kind of just thinking about this, whatnot, the other day. Um, I remember this day. I was uh headed to school, and man, this day I thought I was fly. I had on some orange Dickie pants, some Dickies. Cause at this time, the Dickies was, hey, them Dickies and them Jabot pants. See, now I'm getting into it. Them Southern people, y'all probably know what I'm talking about. Them Dickies and them Jabots. Them was it. That was it back then, bro. But I have some orange Dickie pants. And I had this brown bathing ape jacket, and it had like a brown ape with like orange in it or something like that. Fresh white T-shirt, had on some black shades on my head. I thought I was fly. I was looking a mess for real, for real. Not that I look back at it. Whatever. So, anywho, walking to school, walk to the bus stop, me, my brother, and my homeboy. And they say, no, two big black dogs come out. Just come out and they running in front of us. So if y'all know anything about us's, I say us's, y'all know, you know who I'm talking about. We don't play with dogs, especially ones we don't know. Not gonna happen. We won't play with. Even some of the ones we do know, we just don't get down like that. So these dogs running out, man. I'm so fresh. I'm feeling myself. But I gotta make a decision what I'm about to do. I can't run back home because I'm gonna miss the bus. Mom's not having that. So I jumped the gate. I think I jumped the gate with like one hand or something. Flipped on it. Next thing you know, I snagged my shirt on the gate, my white T-shirt. And man, fresh white tee back then was it was everything. So so I jumped back over the gate. I done ripped my white T-shirt, got a dirt stain in it. I'm like, how am I gonna do this? So I decide, hey, I gotta go. I can't miss the bus. I'm gonna get in trouble. I go ahead on and zip that jacket right on up, just enough where it cover it up, and I'm able to be fly the rest of the day. So your boy know how to improvise. All right. So what is your favorite movie and why? My favorite movie got to be 7 Pounds. Will Smith. It's an older movie. I think 2000s, of course, obviously, but it's a great movie, man. The story plot for this movie was so good, right? It has so many lessons, and bruh, Will Smith got a way of, bruh, he can act. He got a way of, he can make you cry. Like if you guys, I'm about to share something. You guys probably know there's a certain scene on Fresh Prince of Bel-Air when his dad shows up and his dad's there and he like, oh, we're gonna postpone the trip, you know, bruh, that scene right there, it'll make you tear up, bruh. Go watch it. I'm telling you, but go watch 7 Pounds though. That's a great movie. That is a good movie, man. I'll watch that movie 2 or 3 times. 2 or 3 times. I'm not even gonna get into it too much because it's such a good plot. The way that they set it up was masterful. Whoever wrote that movie, I don't even know, and I've seen that movie so many times. It's a good movie. 7 Pounds. All right. So the next question we got is: if you can travel or live anywhere, where would you go and why? So there was a point in my life where I wanted to really, really, really visit Jerusalem. Man, all of the history, the biblical history behind Jerusalem and all of that stuff is just fascinating to me, right? To be able to visit those places and think about some of the things that I've read in the Bible, man, it's just been fascinating. Now, would I go right now? No, no. Too much going on over there, of course. Pray for Jerusalem, yes, but I'm not going over there. Not happening. I do not want to go there now. The runner-up though on the list is Paris. I would love to go to Paris. And my wife have talked about going to Paris this year. Paris, Mexico. I would love to visit some of those places like that for sure. To look at the history, to taste the food, and to look at the culture. Yeah. All right. So, all right. What's something about myself that may surprise the viewers? So, what will surprise you, I would say, is that I am very, very good at impersonations. So, and no, I'm not about to do one. So I'm gonna go ahead and help you out just in case you about to like try to fast forward through this video to try to see if I'm doing not now. Like if at any point in another video where I like feel it or something, then it just come out that way. It just happens. But yeah, but anywho, impersonations. My sister and my brother used to always tell me like I was great at doing Chris Tucker. Because I used to watch so many of his movies. Like speaking of favorite movies, like one of the funniest movies, Money Talks. So a lot of different people, I feel like I can impersonate them, and not just actors or anything like that, but even you. Like if I'm around a person long enough, I can learn their mannerisms depending on what it is and how they talk, and most likely impersonate them. Sure. So yeah, impersonations. That's something that I like. Is that a hobby? Maybe that's a hobby too. I don't know. All right. What's your go-to comfort food or guilty pleasure snack? Man, flaming hot popcorn. They be so good. I will eat a bag, a big bag in a day. I don't be careful. Bad. Bad. I stopped buying them. I stopped buying them because I already know. I can't. I'm gonna eat the whole bag. Like that's my guilty pleasure. All right. So the next question is, what's this one? Uh, what's your favorite season and why? That's what it says on here. I know I didn't skip one, but whatever. My favorite season is most likely winter. I know some people probably like, man, I love the summer. Man, I've been born and raised in Florida all my life. It is hot. I don't like the heat like that. You know, you start sweating and feeling all nasty and dirty, and you know, I get high, I get a little agitated quick. So I'm trying to like keep it together. So I for sure like the winter. And plus, around the winter time, you got Christmas, you know, and I know some people might say, oh man, that's fall, Thanksgiving, but it started getting cold too. It started kind of getting into winter. But I love that time of the year, not just for the weather, but you around your family, you know, the kids, and everybody's excited about gifts, man. And people are a lot more nice. They sweet, man. People more sweet, more kind around that time of the year. So like they like, oh yeah, the kids want this, the kids want that, you know. So for sure, yeah, I like winter, man. So all right. What is the one piece of advice you would give to your younger self? So the piece of advice that I would give to my younger self is probably more related to school. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm not the biggest fan of school. Like I did the whole college thing. It ain't really work out. But what I would tell myself is to take high school more serious as far as in my grades go. That and the reason why I say that is because generally when your grades are better in high school, you're not distracted by the wrong things. You focus on your grades, right? Like you staying out of trouble, you focusing on your grades. Like that would be probably the one piece of advice I would give myself. Take high school serious, your grades, and put in the work. That's the biggest thing I would probably tell myself because in those cases, I'm not gonna lie, I probably would have been like, well, let me try every sport there is. But, you know, the biggest thing, the most important thing, obviously, would be my grades, right? Because that's just what it is, especially when you think about potentially furthering your career or taking on a big opportunity to go and do something different with your life. So I would say that for sure because acting, yeah, yeah. I don't know how much my grades would have played a factor, but yeah. All right. How do you like to spend free time when you're not working or studying? I just said that earlier. When I'm not working or studying, matter of fact, nah, I like to watch TV, but I love to also spend time with my family. Like my wife, really my homie. That's my baby, but she's really my homie too. We laugh, we hang out, go on dates and stuff. So, man, yeah, that's really my homie for sure. Yep. My kids, I love to make sure that I spend time with them. And I think oftentimes, like even with our kids, I think like okay, just yell at them, or just joke with them every now and then. But I teach my kids, actually sit down and talk to them, and give them biblical life lessons, and try to pour wisdom into them. But I also play with them as well. So yeah, yeah, that's what I kind of like to do in my free time. Spend time with my family. Yeah. What else? All right. What's one of the hardest tasks you had to complete or overcome, and how did you manage it? This is a good question, by the way, for the person that dropped this in my inbox. The biggest task I would say is balance, overall balance in life. I just got done saying I wear a lot of hats on my job. I'm a supervisor on my job. So generally, when you're a supervisor or whatnot, you have employees, and you end up, not only helping your employees with things that they're dealing with on the job, but they'll share with you, things that they're going through in their personal life and their families. So you have that. You also, I also have the hat where, I'm a husband, being there for my wife. It's very important to me. I'm a father of four, so my children, I'm heavily involved also in ministry, as an elder at my church. So that's important to me. So wearing a lot of hats, I think one of the biggest challenges for me was is finding balance. Uh, would I say I found that balance just yet? I don't know. But what I do know is that I try not to necessarily focus on it, because I know the devil knows how to take something small and make it this grand thing. But I think what I've realized is that in some area, uh, if I try to do it all in one day, I'm going to fail. I'm not going to do it all in one day. So understanding that, okay, I have a full week, um, you know, God willing, I have a full week in order to do these things. Um, so I would say balance. So in the way that I've kind of overcome that is really not focusing on it, really just focusing on taking each day at a time, you know. And when I realize, oh man, I haven't played with my kids in a while, I play with them. Or if they come and talk with me, that's the thing too. Like my kids help me too, because they'll come to me and ask me, oh, can you come play with us? Can you look at this? Can you look at my grades? Um, and I make sure that I take those opportunities, because you don't get those moments back. Like I've heard people tell me all the time, like when they get older, one nothing, they gonna have their own thing to do. So I try to make sure that I cherish those moments with them. Even in ministry, there's so many different things that I'm like, oh man, I'm doing this, but I'm also too like, oh man, I wish I could do this too. You know, I kind of remind myself like, hey, you're only one man. Like you can only do so much at a time. Like it's gonna happen. So that's the biggest challenge I would say. And of course, for the final question, now this is a really, really good question. Um, can you share a defining moment or experience that shaped who you are today? Um, there is a lot of moments like that, a lot of experiences that I've had in prayer and study, and just with God in general. But right now, one comes to mind in particular. I remember I was in a really, really, really dark place in my life, and I think what really drove me to that dark place was not only um, me not understanding, but also me um, not accepting, really and truly accepting what Jesus has done for me. I was in such a dark place. I was in a very suicidal place at this point in time in my life. And I remember I was breaking down. I was in my bathroom. I was breaking down, man. It was really, really bad. And I remember God speaking to me. He didn't say more than 2 words. He just called me son. He just said son. And to me, that meant so much, because what he was letting me know was that, yes, you've made mistakes. You've repented for them. Yes, you've done this and done that. But what you have to understand is that you are still my child. So him saying that was like, wow, you know, it kind of really eye opening. It wasn't him excusing, what I did, but it was him saying that, hey, if you've repented for this, and I've forgiven you for it, but to continue to allow these things to beat you up and to continue to bring these things up, it's kind of one of those things where you have to say, like, wait a minute, either I'm going to believe what Jesus Christ did on the cross for me, or he's lying, and he's not lying. So, so very, very, very powerful moment for me in my life. I'll never forget, because in that moment, not only did I experience his love, I experienced his grace, his mercy, his presence, and, I just have enjoyed, building the relationship with him and understanding more and more and more about who he is. Oftentimes I used to look at the word of God, and, it's so easy to look at the word of God and study and read it and find out, all of your faults, and find out, like, oh man, I got to work on this. I got to work on that, man. Oh man. But I had to transition from that point of looking at all the areas where I have flaws, to a point of getting to know him and asking him, why is he saying what he's saying? Why did he say it the way that he said it, in whatever scripture or whatever context? What is it that he's trying to get me to understand about him? So yeah, it's been great. And I appreciate that question. I appreciate all the questions, but that one right there, that moment right there, it stays with me, and it has stayed with me for the longest time. So there's hope. There's hope for the hopeless. But I thank you all for tuning in to this episode. Thank you so much for sending the questions. I look forward to the next episode. Once again, you guys go ahead, subscribe to my YouTube channel, follow me on Facebook, follow me on Instagram, follow me on, I'm about to say Twitter. You guys know what I'm talking about. If I say Twitter, you know what I say X. But follow me on Twitter, aka X. Follow me on Snapchat, I think. Either way, thank you all once again for watching. Thank you for your support. You all have a blessed night. Peace.